welcome to the fourth and final video of the spare room makeover. Now that the paint is cleaned off the floor and the bookcase has a fresh coat of paint, it's time to deal with the final decor pieces. All the furniture's been moved in, all the gym equipment has been moved in. So I'll just go back in time and let myself explain to you what sort of the plan is.
We'll go ahead and start here. The first furniture piece is my vanity table. I have mounted the mirror over top of it. Notice it's at a reasonably low height, just because it's a low chair and it should be fine. I have put the bookcase over here in this corner. There's a reason for that. The hope is while I'm on the treadmill, I can pop open my Chromebook, which is currently on the top of this, and watch videos while I walk, or, well, let's be real, I'm going to walk. Eventually, I might like to put a TV up above this. So you can see the walls are still kind of missing things. Like, I'm not sure what to do up above. Some of that is coming from the stripes. Like, it's really separating the room into a top half and a bottom half. I much prefer what the bookcase is doing, that it's kind of extended past it. You'll notice the mirror kind of extends past it, but it feels like there might still need to be something done on the upper half. So let's look at the other side. On the other side, the treadmill is way over here by the lights. It's there for a reason. When I'm up on the treadmill, I get the perfect view out the windows. And I get the view of the Chromebook, so it's awesome. I have a small rowing machine, which is gone in this corner. And then you'll see I have started mounting the anchors for the straps, for strength straps, I guess they call them. And that's why the rower is over here. Now, I kind of prefer it over here. It leaves the front area kind of open. That's where I would be doing my work stuff. I could do yoga in here. It leaves a lot of opportunities. I can put a chair in here to do strength exercises from the chair. So I wanted to give you a little close-up here of the wall anchors. I should have used lug nuts, and I didn't have any. These are in studs. I used a stud finder to define them to make sure that it was in a stud. I actually used a nail to figure out where the hole was going to be and made sure that it was touching wood. There is also an ankle height one that I wanted to do, but it's right on top of that outlet. So I am shifting it over to here. Now this stud runs right next to the window, and I didn't want my straps right next to the window, just in case, someday I let go and slam the window, and that would also be bad. So I've got a top one and a middle one done, and then I wanted to install one more, and I thought, well, I'll take you through what it is I'm doing. So what I purchased was this. So we should talk first. If you are a serious strength trainer, don't do this. There are anchors made to be used for strength bands. This is COVID times. I got what I could. And these take a safe workload of 400 pounds, and they have a break strength of 1,200 pounds. And let's be real, pretty sure I am not going to be putting that much strength onto these. So here's what I have been using. I have planning to use wood screws. These are 3-inch long wood screws. So they're going to go into that 2x4 a great distance. And then just to ensure that I have a really good connection that won't slip through the hole that is on these things, I have put a small washer on the tippy top of this. There, yeah, you can see the washer. And then what I've done, if we get you a little bit closer here, what I have done here is, there we go. What I've done here is I have pre-drilled a hole. There it is. Pre-drilled the hole. You can almost see it there. And you can see I actually have a second one here because I thought I hadn't hit wood. I've been using a nail to ensure that I hit wood. The drill, you can also feel it when you drill it in. I just use a small one. The key to choosing your pilot hole drill is to take your screw and your drill bit and make sure the threads of the screw are not covered by your drill bit, because that's the part that's going to be digging in. I think I'm on the right spot. It seems to be grabbing the right way, but this is a really long screw to get through, so I'm using a little trick I read about somewhere. A little bit of soap on the threads So I'm just rubbing it on here a little bit. A little bit of soap on the threads makes it go in so much easier. The only trick to this second one is I got to make sure that I have the latch set up appropriately. So I'm going to get this started. This one's going to go in much easier because I already started putting it in and forgot I didn't put on the washer. And I needed to pull it back out. So it's going to go in really easy for a bit. All right, now I'm going to just make sure this is in a reasonable position. You got to really push. There it goes. And I got to get this one on. All right, come on. Oh. So generally that's a really bad thing to do because you wind up stripping the head of your screw. Some of this is strength, leverage. I'm laying down on the floor here. I'm not on a nice smooth wood floor. I'm not getting much leverage. You also need to be sure that you are at the perfect angle to get this thing in. Now I gotta fight with this screw and try and get the darn thing in. Wish me luck. Decided to pull out and see what was going on. Screw busted. About an inch into the wall. Probably means I'm gonna have to move the top hole over a bit, re-drill, try another screw. Maybe not a 3-inch one. I do have some slightly shorter ones. I wanted something about 2 inches. Again, not what I had, so we're just trying it with what I got. But that's the idea. And then the last thing I did was I got some carabiners. Now, I do not know the strength of these carabiners, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on them. I will be checking my equipment every time before I use the bands, just to make sure I don't see things coming out. But the carabiner will make it really easy to add the strap, because all I have to do is this to get it on, and then I'm flipping it around. And now I have a nice little attachment to put my bands on so I can do some lower leg and ankle exercises. Most gyms also have a mirror. And so this is a mirror that came out of a remodeling project in a bathroom in my old house. And it is heavy, but it's beautiful. I mean, it's got some aging and stuff on it, but who cares? It's gorgeous. I have to find the stuff for anchoring it, and it turns out it can't be in the middle. There are no studs in the middle. It's actually going to be over a little bit farther. You might be able to see right about there. And then that leaves me this corner kind of empty. And I did buy supply. And I bought those shelves, which is more of a darker wood. I mean, this wood is more of a cherry. That's more of a darker wood. I don't know. I could paint them. I have my 2 signs, which I still haven't put up either. Then maybe I'll figure out where I want to put shelves and those signs. And the calendar just got stuck there for now. I kind of want to track what I'm doing day to day. That is an awful height for writing on, so that is also going to move. Maybe you can see one of the things I'm most proud of. I went thrifting at a Salvation Army, and I found these 3 glass pieces. When I saw the pinkish colored vase, I knew it was perfect. And then I saw the green glass, and it had like a purple spray paint coating on one side of it. So I've been scraping that off. And then just to complete the set, I got that sort of shorter, fluted crystal vase kind of thing. And I love that setting. I think it looks so gorgeous in here. And so that's like the one part of the decor that I'm happy with. Well, and you know, the amaryllis is pretty too, but... So some of my decorative things are on here. I'm not super happy with the bookcase. There's too much white. So needless to say, I have some decisions to make and a bit more work to do. But the room is at least functional now. That's nice. And I've been able to put the things in here that needed to come in here. I've already used the treadmill once or twice, which was kind of a goal. You know, I have a little bit of booty to shake. And so, hey, I'm doing some exercise. That is always a good thing as well. So I will update you when I am much happier with how it's all arranged, and we shall see kind of what the finished product looks like. So I got this at Target Dollar Spot. Imagine. So I thought this would fit with kind of the theme I'm going with in this room, but this color pink is far too pinky for me. Because the other color that's going in here, I really wanted peach, Could not find a peach rug I liked for the life of me. However, Dusty Rose is still around. And the plan for this room is I'm trying to go for energetic. So I am trying to use colors kind of opposite on the color wheel. The sagey green was one, like I said, I was able to mix using paints I already had lying around. And the color in my living room is a little bit more on that tone, a little bit more purpley. Even though, you know, it's kind of a maroonish, rosy color. So I think actually Dusty Rose will wind up working better. It's still kind of opposite. On the spectrum, it's still muted, which I quite like. But anyway, so what I thought is, because this will hang somewhere, probably amongst the stripes, I am going to give this a coat
of the dusty pink that matches my living room.
So do you remember when I said I really did not like how the bookcase was turning out in the room? And I realized some of that is because there is just too much white. So these are the bins I've been using for years for miscellaneous and sundry as far as clothes. And I thought, I have some supplies. Maybe I can change their color. So let me show you what I'm doing. Do I know if this worked? Nope, not at all. I have a color here. What is this one? This one happens to be Bear Ultra Rum Spice. This is just a sample size. I got this when I was trying to match the colors in the living room. And remember, this Dusty Rose I've put in sort of is just a lighter tone of the color that's in there, which I think is like brick or something along those lines. But this is kind of a really muted dusty rosy color. That's what I'm going with. It works pretty good with the rug. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something called GAC 900. This is from Golden. GAC 900 is an acrylic heat set painting medium. So that's an important thing to note that I'm doing here. This is not an acrylic paint. Most indoor paints are what? Latex? I don't think they're the same kind of paint. But I thought, what the heck? I've got it. I'll try it. What's the worst that can happen? I ruined the bins, and frankly, I don't like the bins, so what do I care? When I read the back of this, the instructions are that it must be one part of this to one part of the paint. So I'm doing this using the paintbrush method, which I believe I showed you before when I was mixing colors. So I'm taking like a scoop of paint and another scoop of paint. And if I was mixing it with another paint, I would be taking scoops of it. But this stuff, really runny. There are also some warnings on the back. Like avoid ingestion, excessive skin contact, inhalation, spraying mists, sanding, dusts, and other concentrated vapors. So needless to say, I'm not going to be doing any of that. So now I'm going to just try and match the volume with an equal volume of this. And you'll see it comes out white, and it's super runny. So I'm just trying to match the size of the dollops of paint I put down. So this is just roughly 1 to 1. And then I'm giving it a good mix. And it really makes the paint runny. Kind of what you would expect mixing it 1 to 1 with something that is just basically very liquidy. It's kind of nice. Makes it really easy to apply. So what GAC 900 is supposed to do is keep the paint flexible after it dries and also allow it to bond to the fabric. So I had already gotten started on this. I have a little corner left to do. I've been trying to keep a wet edge. Obviously, that is not happening for this last part. So I'm just going to finish painting that edge. And I'm kind of painting the rough seams in. And I mean, honestly, so I did that one like 10 minutes ago. It's pretty good. There's some color variation, but that could be because of how fast the paint is drying. So now the trick is not to get it on me while we finish painting the rest of this. So I've painted the outside of one bin already, a smaller one, right here. And it does say it has to heat set. And I will say there's like parts where you can kind of see through. I'm not going to bother with the bottom. But I might do the rim on the interior just to give it a more finished look. but I figured I'd let this set first. So the heat set instructions on the GAC 900 that I have say that it has to be ironed at a certain temperature for 45 minutes, or it does say I can stick them in the dryer and let them go for like 40 to 50 minutes, which might be what I will do. I am not sure. These do fold flat, so I may be able to fold them pretty easily flat and get an iron to them and iron it up. So I'm just sort of splotching this on. I'm trying to go across just so it doesn't get too splotchy. It doesn't spread very far. I will say it soaks in quite a bit. I mean, you can see how much I'm going back to reload my brush. And this is just, what the heck is this? This is a number, what does matter what it is? You know, I'm just throwing on a brush. I will say when it comes to brushes, especially art brushes like this, oh gosh, if you go cheap, the bristles are going to come out. I mean, like, not just come out, like be beyond irritating come out. Every time you touch it to whatever you're working on, basically you're going to be leaving behind bristles. So foot the bill a little bit. Don't get the dollar store ones. Don't get the, you know, hi, I'm $2 and I come with 6 brushes kind of one either. I don't think that's going to serve you well. All right, one more spot to do here, and then maybe we will do the rim of the other one. And you know, as I looked at these, they've yellowed. No wonder I don't like these things. I mean, they're really old. By the way, these are from Ikea. Yeah, I could just get more. They're great. I've been using them for years. So I could have gotten new ones and maybe just, you know, replaced these. So it's also some kind of polyester in here. I don't know that I found the tag that says what the material is. It's not like it's, oh, there it is. It's not like it's a cotton or anything, which could also have an effect on how well this paint sticks. I'm going to get paint all over myself. Let me peek. It's a polyester. Polypropylene plastic and 100% polyester. So that's what I'm giving it a shot on, and we shall see. So I will bring you back when I've gone a couple of steps in and finished painting the pieces that I have. Okay, okay, now I'm a little washed out, but we're going with it anyway. So here I am in my basement because we're going to now attempt to launder the things that I painted. So here's where we are at. There they are. This one, I did the ironing. So you probably saw me doing the whole wiggle, 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 so it wasn't sitting in one spot. Yeah, that quickly switched to, I moved it to a spot, I left it, and I waited 4 minutes and moved it on. So this still took about a half an hour. And these were a half an hour in the dryer on high. Oh, so much easier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just throw them in the washing machine with soap. No bleach or anything, but with soap and everything. Run them through a normal cycle, and we shall see how they turn out. Fingers crossed it works. So here we are. It's out of the washer, and it worked exactly as I hoped it would. Okay, so let me lift these up for you. This is fresh out of the washer. And they all turned out pretty much the same. I'm going to run them through the dryer again. Why not? It might heat set it a little bit more. You might be wondering, like, why would you do this? You could have painted this with paints, and then they would just be a painted box. Why do it with the fabric paints? So I want to try and show you this. It's that adding that fabric, the GAC 900, the fabric medium, means that the fabric stays flexible. So like if you were trying to paint on curtains or something else, absolutely you could paint on it. When you washed it, it may not stay. It probably won't bleed, but it might chip off, and it would be stiff where the paint was. And what the GAC 900 does is keep the paint flexible. So like here, like look, you know, I'm kind of trying to mush this, but you can sort of see it, like if it's mushing up and down. Like there is no stiffness to this at all. I mean, it's almost as if I dyed it, but I didn't. I painted it. Oh, and look, see, a little bit of paint came off there on the edge. But yeah, a little bit on the edges. Oh, so that's interesting. Let's show you that. So do you see this? Hang on, we'll do it this way. Maybe you'll see it a little bit better. Along the top, the paint came off. And do you know the one place I did not attempt to iron it on? Of course, remember, these are the ones that went through the dryer, was here on the top. The rest of it still looks pretty good. So it's just giving it more of a worn look. So let's take a look at this one and see if we're getting the same thing. Now see here? A little bit over there. The tips are still good. I don't know, maybe I just didn't paint that so well. And this is the one I did with the iron. So with the iron, yeah, it's faded a bit from the top. It's not as far gone as the first one is. So, was it perfect? No. Is it certainly better than just painting it? Yes. Oh, well, I'm really happy with this. I'm going to throw them in the dryer, get them dried out, and then I can set them up tomorrow. Yay!
And with those final decor pieces, you're ready to see it all put together. Now, I've seen it quite a few times since then, but you have not. So let's travel back in time to what it looked like to begin with. There was the intense blue color on the wall. There was my grandmother's hutch with all the crafty things around it, and the wall of storage of just yarn and other miscellanea and mess on the floor. The vanity was over in the corner, messy, and there was the bookcase with more craft things, and there was just stuff all over the floor. Well, look at it now. And that finishes the spare room. I am so excited to have this room. It's been a joy to just get up when I'm tired of working from home and take a walk on the treadmill or a row on the machine. I've been sore. I've been energetic. The Chromebook is working beautifully. The vanity is wonderfully placed. It is a great place to get ready in the morning and a great place to get a little bit more exercise in my life. But I don't know about you. I am ready for moving from my place to my plot. Spring is coming, which means it's time to get out there in the yard and see what we can grow. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series of videos and learned something. If you did, please subscribe and like, and look forward to the next ones where we'll be outside in the cold of spring in Minnesota. Bye.